Hey guys, yeah, the start showed its teeth. King Peter, the humble astral traveling karate teacher, and yes, guided hitman. I was confused from the start. Oh God. Yes, in the bookstore when he met the hitman. Then he traveled with astral projection and then traveled through dimensions. The first son of man. Yes, today he has returned again to worldly things. And this morning, my 14 properties were searched nationwide in multiple federal states. King Peter, Peter Fitzek, self-proclaimed King of Germany, active since 2012 with the Kingdom of Germany, Kingdom of Germany. We've covered him several times before. He has his own health insurance fund, health fund, created his own bank from his own perspective, his own he studied law himself, was able to figure out the whole system. It was already in the air that King Peter would have to go to prison because he is said to have pushed and threatened a government employee. Also, King Peter is not supposed to be able to astral travel today, but instead he's supposed to be sitting in a cell. He was reportedly arrested this morning. King Peter made his own currency, and I even have some of this angel money at home. I'm on the road, so this is just a quick statement from my phone. So yes, we've already talked about King Peter and his henchmen several times. Just last week, I got the news that the cheese production and milk production have been stopped in the Kingdom of Germany. I don't even know how to sum all this up because when people watch this, they think, what's he rambling about? What's he rambling about? But it's true. There was so much confusing stuff. I also remember Andy, who locked someone in a cold storage room because that person wanted his 200,000 euros back. We've talked about him so many times. We've often laughed with and about King Peter. But we also have to think about the victims who were ripped off here. For many years, we said that what King Peter is doing always seemed to me like the biggest obvious scam Germany has ever seen. What he promised people, some of them even transferred their entire fortunes to him, properties. They entrusted him with hundreds of thousands of euros, even up to millions. That he buys rundown, worn out properties, really like old manor houses, sometimes even castles or palaces, which he then renovates using the labor of people who also pay for it themselves. The money was, in some cases, completely transferred to him, and the properties were registered not only in his name, but also in the names of his henchmen. I always thought King Peter would eventually say the pressure was too much. And then he would send a short 3-minute video message from Argentina or somewhere else. And now it has happened that the state has cracked down and all sides have been paralyzed in the kingdom. All operations have been shut down. All subsidiaries like this health insurance fund, money, trade, currency, everything he did, all of it has been banned as of today. I assume that there have also been property seizures. That will also be true for many people now. Yes, who have invested their money there. Then the state seizes these properties. And then you not only lose your money, you might also lose your place of residence where you lived because you gave your fortune to King Peter. I'm a bit conflicted about that sometimes, and I say, yeah, okay, if people are dumb enough to give their money there themselves, it's their fault. That's just how it is. But I also feel sorry for them because they somehow fell for these promises for someone claiming, yeah, the Federal Republic of Germany doesn't exist. There's actually still a kingdom, Germany, and I'm the true German king, and I'm sent by God. King Peter has often said he spoke with God, and that people believe that in good hope and good hope for their own. Somehow, because maybe they never really arrived in this system we live in democracy, they feel unnoticed. Now, this conman king gives them an escape. Yeah, well, it's like I kind of feel sorry for them, but it's also a bit their own fault. But what's important now, why this ban is important, is to prevent future victims as well. People who still go there to this open house day, bring their money there, support him, work for him, and take everything into their normal lives. We also saw that there are children involved there who are being massively indoctrinated, who might not be sent to school. King Peter was the only one who told the story about the girl, though I can't remember her name. The first baby born in the kingdom was allowed to play outside in freezing temperatures in light clothes because she was so grounded there. So much has already happened with King Peter. It's also about protecting people, especially children, by banning this project. And from my point of view, that was long overdue, and I'm curious to see what comes together there, including any crimes. This is a prohibition procedure. The Kingdom of Germany will not be treated as a country in the future, but rather as an association or something similar to an association. It will have been banned under association law. I'll probably give you more detailed input here at some point, together with Axel. And taking action against such an association ban is very, very expensive, very, very lengthy, and has little chance of success. Extreme associations have already tried to fight against this, and motorcycle clubs have also tried to fight against it. It's the height. The hurdles are very, very high, and these proceedings are often very well conducted by the authorities. There's really no way to compete with that. Well, I'm curious to see what comes out of this afterwards, and I'm sure a lot will come out where, how, and which funds were moved where. I would be surprised if it doesn't come out that funds were moved somewhere abroad. I think I've already said this in some stream before. I trust King Astral Traveler Peter to just say, okay, then I'll just do my 4 or 5 years. He moved his money abroad. Later, he either escapes, leaves while in open prison, or goes abroad after serving his sentence. And then he settles down there. Yeah, he lives it up there. Yeah, it's not surprising to me now. The timing might be because of the new federal government. That was the case last time. Also, when the federal government changed, there were very quickly similar bans. The old federal government probably prepared that, but the new interior minister, Mr. Dobrindt, enforced it today. Yes, it's also very important to send a signal that individual people from the Reichsbürger scene shouldn't be allowed to mess around with the state. It's also dangerous that these people are out there. In their delusion, some of them actually believe they have to, that they're allowed to defend their property with armed force against the military, the police, and so on. And then they shoot at officers, public servants, or anyone else because they believe in this. In your morning briefing, you mentioned self-governors, meaning anyone can choose to govern themselves. But you still have to deal with other couples or independent people. They were called self-governors. You can do that in your own small way too. I even respect you for it. You still have to pay taxes, you still have to pay property tax on your land. You have to follow a few rules, but otherwise, on a piece of land you acquire, you can live relatively freely. I never really understand what their problem is, that they absolutely need a king to follow around. All right, the whole thing is over after almost 13 years. The karate teacher is done for. There are very, very many yeah, what can I say? Cringe? Do I want to use that word? Yeah, I don't feel like making the video all over again from the start. There are very, very many videos where we covered the Kingdom, Germany, and Peter, but it was also like this. King Peter had also published that somewhere recently. The number of visitors has gone down, the number of interested people has gone down. Maybe it's also a hype that we saw shortly before and during the corona pandemic, that people were susceptible to it. For those people who said, I have quick solutions, I'm the king, with me it wouldn't have happened, I would have banned Corona immediately. And all these things, what made it so attractive for people with these quick solutions? This king who decides with a strong, firm hand, let's hope that this hype will die down again and that we'll get some of these lost people back. Searched 14 properties. I'm pretty sure that a lot of items were confiscated and all the organizations were banned as well. So there's no more royal cheese. That was the main business, the royal cheese, but sales were terrible anyway. So That's all that's left. You could just say, well done, it's over. King Peter is behind Swedish bars, not German ones. Gardim. And let's see what other charges will be added. I'm pretty sure that fraud is involved too, and that it's considered serious fraud. I'm quite sure about that. That's just speculation on my part. We'll make another input about this. And the spooky kingdom of Germany, King Peter, the humble Fitzek, the astral traveler, is done for now. Guys, as always, I remain with an ahoy from the coast.